welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Divine Feminine 101. And welcome back. Hope you're having a good weekend. Well, today I'm supposed to carry on from last week, from the topic we started last week on narcissism. However, today I wanted to give a shout out to all the youths that has gone out, everyone, literally everyone that has gone out so far to lend their voices to the NSAS protest. Well done. It's time for change. That's what it's all about. I mean, it's one of the few times I've seen such unity and during a protest. I mean, there's been one or two hiccups here and there, like yeah, but it's been great so far, and it's simply amazing. It's really amazing. I'm impressed. Anyway, I think so is everyone as well. So this is my part of the world in Nigeria. Well, everyone is holding a protest and we're lending our voices to change. So yay. Anyway, you know, like I said, this is what it's all about. It's time for everybody to stand up for what they believe in, because if you stand for nothing, you will fall for everything. So I mean, about 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine was saying to me, I mean, I asked somebody, and I said, my friend, and I said to her, oh, okay, we got in a conversation, and I said to her, have you been watching my channel? And she said, yeah, well, I mean, I watched it the first time, but you keep talking about narcissism, and it's a bit too serious, and it's a bit too this, and it's a bit too that. And I saw the point in that. In fact, initially I got a bit worried, and she was like, no, people want comedy, people want something light-hearted they can laugh about, or just talk about relationships, since you do that all the time anyway. Yeah, I got worried. It's just a little bit like, okay, yeah, that's true. People do want something lighthearted, and I mean, comedy is great. I watch a lot of comedy, and the truth is, it keeps you in a very good vibration. Like, if you're in a good mood and you're in a good place, it keeps you in that positive state, and you can. Once you're in a positive state, you can actually manifest, and I mean, good things come to you when you're in a better state of mind, right? And so yeah, so I mean, I understood that. However, something got me thinking, like, right, people need to watch comedy all the time. Sometimes it's just because they love it. Sometimes it's to shy away from the underlying problem, which sometimes could be mental health, emotional health. When I say mental health, I'm not literally talking about going cuckoo or anything. No, it's when you're worried about work, or you're worried about your business, or something seems to be going wrong, it's some sort of mental health, or emotional health. If you're in a bad space, it's lack of good emotional health. So yeah, I mean, so sometimes we're so focused on turning away from the problem and ignoring the problem, hoping it to go away. Most of the time it doesn't go away. So many times we're so focused on what's going on the outside that we completely neglect what's going on the inside. And the inside is our emotional health, our mental health, and we ignore it most of the time. We just think it will go away. I mean, that's how everybody survives, so let's just keep moving, you know. And the truth is, yes, this isn't comedy. It's not lighthearted. However, whilst those protesters are outside on the road saving lives, I am hoping this video will save even if it's just one life, it would mean a whole lot to me. I'm hoping this video will save a life, and I'll tell you why. What is narcissism? I'll break it down from my own understanding and why it looks like I'm holding my own protest against narcissists. And, you know, anyway, so what narcissists do is mess up your mind. The aim is to demoralize you so much that you're reduced to almost nothing. Now, I know for a fact there's so many people going through a lot of things. Most of the time they are dealing with narcissists. But like I said, there's never been a label on it. So a lot of people don't even know what they're dealing with. I dealt with it. I didn't know what it was at the time, you know. So whilst those protesters are outside trying to save lives, I have this channel. I mean, we're all doing the same thing. We're lending our voices to change. I have this channel trying to save, even if it's a life. I'll break it down to you from my own understanding, because I just believe that sometimes, like I've always said, when things happen is so that you can go forward and shed light on it. Now, it's not going to be for everybody. It might just be for that one person. So you know, so anyway, I'll break it down from my own understanding. Spiritual warfare is the warfare of the mind. So that's what a lot of people don't understand. The attack, whatever it is, it starts from the mind. So when the devil wants to create fear in you, it starts with your mind. When the devil wants to create doubt in you, it starts with your mind. So what happens is, even the Bible says a double-minded man can never receive anything from God. Now, if you're not in a place of complete faith, you're in a place of complete either worry or fear, it's an attack to your mind. Now, this is what narcissists are about. They attack your mind. So I don't know how many medical terms I can use to quantify narcissists. But for me, in my opinion, it is spiritual warfare. And that's what I'm shedding a light on. It's not interesting, it's not comedy, it's reality. Because also I've been lucky enough to actually talk to a lot of people, some that I know, some that I don't even know. And I can tell you categorically that a lot of people are experiencing this, but they don't know what they're experiencing. Sometimes they run to church to pray about it, sometimes, you know, which is all great. I mean, for me, that's the answer to it. It's the only answer to it. Now, I did a bit of research and I came up with something. Now, I've sat here week after week just talking about medical terms. For narcissism, there's the covert, there's the overt, there's whatever. But from experience, I want to shed light on this. A lot of people may not agree with me. I mean, after this, we probably will go back to the medical terms anyway. But from my own understanding, I want everybody to understand how I see narcissism. Okay, so I did a bit of research. I'm just going to read it if you don't mind. So 2 Corinthians 10:3-6. I'll read it out because I had to. So that says, "For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war according to the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God, pulling down strongholds. For pulling down strongholds, casting down arguments," a quote on arguments, "and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God." I'm just going to stop there for a minute. And last week when I did talk about overt narcissists, I said something about the grandiose narcissists that that exalt themselves above everything and everyone. And believe me, most narcissists can. There's some that most narcissists can, especially the covered ones. They're very good in spirituality. They know all the lingo. They probably can read the Bible, which the devil can too, from beginning to end. Not read, like quote it to you literally. This is how you just know it's warfare. I'll carry on. So that bit that says that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, that is pure overt narcissism. And I'm hoping that as we continue with this, people would have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. So bringing every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. Now, I'll stop there. Bringing every thought. Now, to be able to master and control your thoughts, you have to be in a better frame of mind. That way, if you're trusting and you have faith that there's a storm, but this storm, I'm so sure, because I know who I serve, I'm so sure this storm will dissipate, will just go away, because I trust that God will do it. Now, that's a thought. And because you're in a better frame of mind, you can think in a more positive light. Now, imagine if you're depressed, or whoever is in and around your space has demoralized you so much that you don't even think that, first of all, you're probably blaming God for everything anyway. Like, okay, I've been praying, this is not happening, why is this happening to me? Oh my God. There's depression or whatever it is. You're not controlling your thoughts. You're not mastering your thoughts. And that is the job of a narcissist in your life, literally. What they do is mess up your mind so much and your thoughts. And there are medical terms for it, but the warfare of the mind is spiritual warfare. The warfare of the mind is what narcissists are about. I'm going to leave out medical terms and whatnot, and I'm just going to get to the nitty-gritty of this. So please bear with me. Stay with me on this one, please. So basically, if you're going through confusion on a regular basis, if you feel like you're living in an illusion on a regular basis, if you feel lied to, you know there's something wrong. You know it's a lie, but this person's lies seems to just, it makes sense. Deep down, you know there's something wrong, but because you can't actually put a finger on it, you know, it seems normal. That too. If somebody plays the victim all the time and they can't actually take responsibility for any of their actions, they've done so many bad things to you, but there's a reason. Most of the time, your fault is what they say. It's your fault, I did it. But there's a reason why they did it all the time, or there's an excuse for it all the time, and it's a pattern. You're probably dealing with a narcissist. A lot of people are. They just don't realize it. And for every time, I feel like every time I come to do a breakdown of, oh, they will gaslight you. Yes, they will gaslight you every single time. And I just feel like I'm not being real. I feel like I'm not sharing what I really should be sharing. There's a reason I also experienced this. And there's a reason why so many people confide in me about things like this. Most of them don't even know I've had experiences like this, but they just talk to me about it. So there's a reason I have this information, and you know, for every time I'm doing a logical breakdown of what narcissism is, I feel like I'm not being real. I feel like I'm being fake, and having to look through a piece of paper to talk about it, it's not real. Because I was once in close relations with a narcissist. I would consider this person an overt narcissist, but he also obviously a committed relationship, let me put it that way. He also had a bit of the covert type of narcissism in him as well, and it started off great. I mean, that would be the love bombing stage, right? It started off so great. It was an amazing experience. And gradually, the relationship started to break down so much. And for every time I tried to question it, it was my fault. So I kept working. I kept doing everything I could do just so this person would understand that, first of all, I don't want to be breaking commitments and jumping ship when the going gets bad. Just, okay, there's a problem now, there's a storm, so you jump ship and go to the next best thing. I don't understand that. I can't do it. I value my commitment, you know? So the relationship started to break down so much. It started to really, I was so emotionally exhausted that I had nothing to give. I was depleted. Mentally, I was confused. When I questioned it, I was gaslighted. Gaslighting is a distortion of reality. They just give you a false reality, and you're thinking, but I thought I saw it. Oh, no, that's not what you saw. That's this, and it's all confusion. And a part of me is thinking, I know this is what happened, but the other part, what this person is saying to me, makes a lot of sense. And so it went on that way, and I became really religious. I became very religious. I would tie a scarf and just spend my entire day just in church praying, just so everything could get better, because I just felt like I knew there was something wrong. Now, medically, everything seemed fine. However, there was a problem. There was no peace. It was fire, it was arguments, it was fights, but I could not really explain it to anybody else, because what happened was the covert side of this person was outside. He was perfect. He was the perfect person. I had people walk up to me on the street and go, oh wow, you're like the luckiest woman ever. Oh my God, chivalry. You know, this person will get up, open car doors for you, or pull out seats and whatnot, because that's what I like. I love chivalry. And I'm sure every woman does as well, you know. So it went on like that. And I couldn't tell anybody. Even my people did not believe me, because they just thought this person was the most perfect being. I was the only one that knew what was going on behind closed doors. And the truth is, even what was going on behind closed doors, I really could not put a finger on it, because it wasn't physical. It wasn't physical abuse. It wasn't anything. It was mental. It was emotional. So, and this person broke me down so much. After a while, you know, after doing all the praying, and it just seemed like nothing was happening, because I was just talking. I was not in a good, like I said before, the Bible says the two-minded man cannot get anything from God. So I'm asking for peace, and I'm asking for repair, and I'm asking for, you know, a brand new start. But I wasn't believing it. I didn't have faith, and I couldn't have faith because my mind was messed up. So it went on like that. So I lost faith in God. Warfare. I lost faith. Yes, I would go and pray, but I didn't have faith. Nothing was changing. It's only a matter of time before you get fed up of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Nothing was happening. So it went on like that. And what's a disease? A disease is a body that is not at ease. So it started to affect my health. And I did all the kgs, EKG, IKG, JKG, all the kgs in the world. And eventually, the doctor said to me, well, we need to do a biopsy. It's probably cancer. Good times. Anyway, so this is how much toxicity, I don't know what it's called. This is how much it can affect people. If you stay in a toxic environment long enough, you won't only suffer from depression, you'll probably have high blood pressure, it will probably affect your health, because, you know, your body is not at ease. So all sorts of toxins and all sorts of your cells gets you know, dodgy cells. I'm trying to think. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, the doctor said cancer. You know, being an empath as well, this was another thing I had to deal with, and that's why I started off my videos with being an empath. you tend to have a knowing. Sometimes it's not all the time. You tend to have a knowing, and keep in mind also, you don't tend to deal with just your emotions, you deal with the other person's emotions. Like empaths are like sponges. You sponge off people's emotions, so you can start your day being really happy, and then you spend time around people that are depressed and angry, and then you realize 10 minutes later in their presence you're depressed and angry, and you're wondering, I can't put a finger on what's really wrong with me, but there's something wrong with me because now I'm depressed and angry. No, what happened is you just sponge off other people's emotions. So I didn't have just my emotions to deal with, I had his to deal with. So I was dealing with anger, rage, hatred, and whatever it is I could deal with, and I didn't understand it because that's not me. I have no reason to be so angry all the time. If anything, I was still depressed to be angry, so but when the doctor said what he said, I had a knowing. I knew somewhere deep down I didn't have it. I knew. However, I was happy. I was happy because two things. I was so depressed. I thought, this will probably be a relief. Yeah, I'm just going to die. What the hell? It's the same thing as people that go and commit suicide because they think it would never get better. Sometimes you should really look at the people around their space. It's the same thing with people that jump in a lagoon because they think it will never get better, and then you see their spouse or friend or whoever it is that they spend a lot of time with crying and mourning them, and sometimes those are the culprits. But because they committed suicide, it seems like, oh, that's the person that is messed up. No, not all the time. Sometimes their mind is so broken that they have no avenue to put it back together again. So anyway, So I was happy. It was a release, finally. And then another thing, I was like, okay, maybe finally this person will ease off these issues for a while, and maybe there will be peace. I am dying anyway. Maybe there will be peace. Maybe there will just be a bit of peace, or this monster would have a bit of pity and, just create peace. But no, that didn't happen. So one day I got up and I left the situation. I knew there was no repair, but I was lucky. I'm one of the few not lucky ones, a lucky narc survivor, because I knew I left at the right time. Because what had happened was I went through a minor surgery to do a biopsy. And I left about two days later or whatever it is. And about 3 days later, I stopped feeling pains. Because every day when I woke up, I smiled. I had a smile on my face. Nobody's arguing, nobody's fighting, there was no toxic. I was in peace. So I noticed the pain went away. And I started to feel better. By the time I went back to the hospital to get my result, the doctor told me, you're absolutely fine. There was nothing wrong with you. The chest pain, the constant depression, everything went away. And this was less than a week. Or just having to get up in the morning and be at peace. So what I'm saying is not because I want to share a sad story. It's because a lot of people, like I said, I didn't start this channel for everybody. That one person, those two people that need to wake up and smell the coffee and stop looking for medical terms or excuses, or stop making excuses why to keep tolerating a bad situation when there can always be change. So, don't get fooled by the hair and everything. This is God giving me beauty for my ashes. Because I did not learn that first time, I was put in situations like that again and again till I learned. I've actually dealt with a covert narcissist that is a female on very close quarters, and that almost cost me my sanity. And I think because I just wasn't learning, I just couldn't learn. I think eventually, maybe my theory, eventually I feel like God finally just gave me so many issues, and I stopped playing church. I stopped playing religion, and I started to have a real and personal relationship with God, and everything changed. As I started to do that, I started to love myself more. I started to know, okay, I'm not going to just overlook this and overlook that and overlook everything and overlook this. I started to really have a healthy respect for myself, just self-care. And when I smell some sort of, once I feel I'm in a toxic situation, I am out. Not just with relationships, I'm talking about in everything. Even in business, sometimes you go into business partnerships and this person is pure narcissist. And for every time something goes wrong, you're taking the heat for the business, and they're cheating you and gaslighting you and manipulating you out of everything. So it could be anything. It could be any relationship. It could be friendship. It could be whatever it is. But until I changed myself from within, then I realized what I was up against, that I was actually up against so many of this kind of people. I had no idea. I never saw it. So it was like being awakened to something like, oh, so this is what I've been in it. If you'd ask me before, well, it's, I tend to let go of things a lot. I tend to, just forgive it and move on. No, forgive, but don't forget, so that you don't put yourself in that situation the next time. You should always forgive, yes, but you can forgive and just put them at arm's length. You don't have to be in it. You don't have to be in it. For every time I've let go and almost lost my sanity, I am sitting here just trying to tell whoever it is that needs this information, wake up. I don't know what medical term you use to fight the warfare of the mind or narcissist, but I know that if you do have a personal relationship with God, I know that you'll be in such high vibrations that these people cannot bring you down to their low vibration anymore. And what is high vibration? You're in a place of total peace, a place of total harmony. You're happy and you trust and you believe. Even the law of attraction. Anybody go study up on the law of attraction. So this is not just spirituality. The law of the universe states that if you don't trust, if you don't believe, and if you're not in the right frame of mind, you can't attract things to you. So if you're in a better frame of mind, you can easily attract anything. That's the law of the universe. So that's not even spiritual. That's just the law of the universe. You have to be in the right frame of mind. For every time you're in a wrong frame of mind, you're sending out the emission of lack to the universe. And whatever it is you send out, see, the way the universe works, think of a genie, for instance, in Aladdin, the storybook. Yeah, so the genie says something, your wish is my command. And that's the universe as well. But you have to believe that whatever it is you're asking for, you're going to get it. You have to trust. And that's what even the Bible says. You have to have faith. The universe says you have to believe and you have to trust 100%. So if you're trusting and you believe that good things are going to come into your life, why would you be depressed? Why would you have a feeling of lack? So even when there's a storm, through that storm, you're supposed to believe. You're supposed to trust that everything will work out in your favor. All's well that ends well. Lack of trust is what makes you worry. Lack of trust is what makes you fear. Lack of trust is what makes you not have faith. So the opposite of faith is fear. So that's vibrations. So if you're in that good place, according to the law of attraction, if you're in that good vibe, that good mood, sometimes you don't even have to ask for these things with your mouth. You can think about it, and that's what manifestation is. And manifest it. Whatever it is you think about, you bring about. So if you're thinking about something on a consistent basis, don't be surprised that it will show up. So some people believe that all they have to do is think about, I need to sort out my debt. Oh, I need to sort out this debt so that I can be financially free. But no, If you're thinking depth, you're manifesting depth. That's how it works. So you can only get good things when you're in the right frame of mind, because if you're not, you're depressed, you're angry, you're crying. What you're sending out to the universe is luck. Whatever it is you send out, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. If you're thinking about it on a consistent basis, you are attracting it to yourself. It's going to keep coming back. So if you're thinking, oh, my bills, what keeps showing up for you is bills. That's how it works. So if you don't take care of your mental and your emotional health, which is what I created this channel for. I'm done playing people's favorite. No. I'm done not being able to talk about spirituality. That is who I am now. I posted this video on my old Instagram account. I could have started a new one for it, but no. Because this is my growth. This is me. I started from a journey of not trusting, of not believing. I thought I did because I was playing religion. I hope and I know that this video will get to the right people. The person that needs it will see it, will wake up, will choose. You can choose a medical way to deal with it. I get that. I don't know how to do that. I chose a more spiritual way to deal with it. And in finding God, I found myself. And since I found myself and how I love myself, and not in a conceited way, just healthy respect for myself. Ever since I have been that way, a lot of these people are not even in my timeline anymore. And because everybody has a tendency to display some sort of narcissistic behavior, so even if they're in my timeline, you know, they can't be in my space because I see what you're doing from a mile away, and no, not here. Only good vibes. Anyway, next week we will continue with breakdown of covert narcissism. So I love you all. Thank you. Have a lovely day. I'm glad I was able to get this off my chest. So yay.